Hey guys, it's Greg with Tales from the Pythian, back to do that follow-up Phandelver video where we are going to look at some of the preparation that we talked about last time. There will be timestamps down in the bottom. This might be a longer video. I'm not even sure yet if I'll be breaking this up into 2 videos or not. So we're going to look at some of the things that I've already done that we talked about needed to be done. And then we're going to look at the Redbrand Hideout. And I thought that we might do a little bit of the prep stuff during the video as opposed to showing what we've done. We might just actually kind of walk through it. So depending on what that looks like, again, I might break this into 2 videos. I will definitely put that in the title or in the chat card if it happens. So let's just get into it, shall we? So the last week's video, we looked at the town entrance, kind of recapped the previous adventure. We looked at the town entrance coming into Barthen's Provisions, the work that was done up there with the baker and Emelina Barthen. So we're going to just jump into the town square and kind of go through the things that were done there. So Tolbin is created, Pip's around here somewhere. I made the bartender, whose name in the book is Elsa, a rock seeker. I felt like that would be useful, even though I'm not sure how, kind of DM's intuition, if you will. I have all of the rumor givers in here and named, right? So Lenar, Frida, and Narth. And one of the things I like to do in the event that I don't have a journal open during the role-playing portions is in the character sheets under biography, I will put that information that I need that's relevant. And because it is copied and pasted, it's still linked. So if I need that journal entry, it'll just open right up to it. And it helps me out personally a lot when I'm running a game. So this is all good to go and set up. One of the other things I did in addition to having this kind of set up to give us some flavor is I put in here in chapter 2 under the handouts, I have the menu. Be theater of the mind, this thing. So I made this menu over in Pixlr. I used the AI function to tell it to give me a blank piece of parchment, and then I used text fonts, to kind of make this menu. Does it do anything mechanically? Absolutely not. Does it give a little bit more immersion? Yeah, certainly it does. And that's cool. So that's just a little added pizzazz there. The remainder of the NPCs inside of the town square, in the Townmaster's hall, I have Harbin Wester, and then over here we have Sister Garael right by the Shrine of Luck, and this is labeled as her house. Down here we have the Lion Coster, the Lionshield Coster, and inside we have Laneen Greywind, who is who should actually be set up as a merchant, and we're going to actually do that real quick. So we're going to use item piles, right? So all I do when I do this is I create the NPC, and then up at the top I've got this little box, and when I click it, that opens the item pile configuration for this token. So I'm going to enable it as an item pile. Everything else I'm just going to leave all by itself, other than telling it to split items by type. So if it's a weapon, if it's armor, if it's equipment, a trinket, all these sorts of things, it'll just split it into different categories for that. And then on other settings, I'm going to tell it that it is a merchant. And then I can, of course, put the merchant image in here. We can scroll down to the bottom and we can tell it to hide the token when the shop is closed. We can dictate the open times. So we can say, we'll just leave it at default 9 to 1800, and it's going to be closed on the first day and the 10 day, and it'll be closed on holidays. And then we can update that. And then our dialogue changes a little bit. You're going to see it's going to show us whatever was in her inventory, right? So if we don't want that to be in the inventory, we can just come up here and click that little person icon right there, and it will open the character sheet back up, and I can just delete that out, right? We can close it back. Now we have just our blank slate. So one of the things I really wanted to do with this game is I wanted to keep it high magic and high fantasy. So I wanted to provide a merchant in here that was going to have magical items, right? So this is the Lionshield coster, and they are all over the Sword Coast, traveling, between Waterdeep and Neverwinter specifically, going here, and then of course across the Tribor Trail to Tribor, and back over to Neverwinter and to Waterdeep. Of course, they can mirror bars not far away either, nor is Luskan. So what I did was I went ahead and predetermined some of the magical items that I wanted to put into the store, made a list of them. Then I went into my compendium here from D&D Beyond in the items, and I went ahead and hit up costs for these things, right? And I can tell you guys a good web page to go to look at that sort of information, maybe. And I'll look for it in my bookmarks, but I think it's just called like 5E item cost or something along those lines, but I'll find it. If I can't tell you what it is, I'll put it down below in the description. So I'm just going to come over here to my items compendium, and we're just going to type in long, and that should give us the sword and the long bow. So we're going to do a long sword +1. Now I already put the cost into the compendium, so it should retain that information when we bring it in. Yep, so it's 1,020 gold pieces, right? And then we'll find the long bow +1. We'll bring that in. We're also going to bring in a regular long sword, just so we've got it. And that's it. I mean, that's really the essence of this. We're going to keep dragging in and searching out, say the quarterstaff. Got a monk in my game, so I wanted to make sure I didn't overlook the monk. And I can adjust the quantities. Obviously, all the magical weapons are going to have a single quantity, but I'll adjust the individual quantity of the mundane items, if you will, to be kind of reflective of their commonality. Now, that being said, item piles also takes the ability to set things up with tables. So under the populate items tab, I could come back here, and if I had generated a table that had a mixture of magical items and mundane items, I could put that table in here and run it. It's like I have a general store, I have a Oakhurst blacksmith, right? I could run that table, and the table would then populate the items, and you can make it randomize the quantities and all that sort of thing. And I do use better roll tables as well, which does interact with this well. But for this one in particular, I'm going to end up just dragging and dropping everything in here. So we'll do short bow. I had the long bow already. Long sword, shield +1, right? So again, this is a little boring, so you get the idea. This is an example of it splitting the equipment. So let me grab the chainmail. So chainmail +1, chainmail regular. So we have equipment, we have weapon, and then so on and so forth. If when I put arrows in here, it'll have the arrows, and again, everything populates with the price. We've got the rarity, so we know what's going on, and everything's good. So I'll finish this kind of off screen. It won't take long to do, but that's how this works. Yeah, so that's setting up a merchant with item piles. It's pretty straightforward. So the only other thing we've got to do is we have to fix her. We have to fix her name in her token. So it's always good to be paying attention while we're doing these things. All right, so we'll just come into her token, change that, update it, and there she goes. Now she should on the screen. Yeah, that's good. All right, cool. So there's the Lionshield coster. Good to go, and that'll be fun. So we also set up the orchard. So let's see, where's the orchard? Provisions, the farm, the Townmaster's house, town hall, town orchard. All right, so we have my man Darren Edermath over here. He didn't really have anything to set up on him. A lot of this is role playing. He does have the boots of striding and springing on him. This is a reward that the characters can get for doing one of the missions. And remember, if we go back to the town square, that here on the board we have the undead at Old Owl Well, which direct them to Ettermath at the orchards, where they can pick that quest up from him to go there, as well as I think he's got a second quest over there with him as well. So then we've got the Alderley Farm, where we have Kellen and Carp. This is where they can get the information from Carp about the additional entrance to the Redbrand Hideout under Tresendar Manor, and of course his mom, Kellen. And we also have, who am I missing here? That's the Alderley Farm. I think that's really, for the most part, the big ones. Now, we do have other locations that I still need to do some things with. So up here, I have like a smithy, and I will do, a regular smithy up here, and a couple of other locations. But then we really just kind of get into Redbrand Hideout. The only thing I have not done in town, as far as taking care of NPCs or setting up the area, is the Stonehill, not the Stonehill, I'm sorry, the Sleeping Giant, which is going to be over here on the Eastern Road, this T12, right? So this guy, I've got to set this up with all of its patrons and whatnot, and I will do. But I figured it wouldn't much matter if I didn't quite have that one done prior to this, because I think we wanted to try to focus maybe on workflow for how we set up like a crawl, right? So I went through last week as well the Redbrand Hideout and how I was going to use this map as opposed to the map that came with the Bailiwiki assets, which is a fine map, but I wanted to use something with a little bit more, aesthetics to it than that one had. And so here it is. This came from Death Jester over on Dungeon Alchemist. Okay, so we're going to do a few things in here. I went through and kind of jotted down what we've got to make. And at this point, I'm just going to kind of slow down a little bit and go through and make these things. So I'm going to pop my journal open so I can reference what we're doing in here. Okay, so we'll go down to the Redbrand Hideout. We're going to start in the cellar. So the first thing that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make a satchel. So this is going to be an item pile. All right, so we're going to go to the actors. We're going to create an actor, and we're just going to call this a waterproof satchel, because that's what it is. It'll be a non-player character. I'm going to create that actor. When it pops up, I'm going to go to the core data, and I'm just going to do a search for bag. I'll move my microphone here. Let's change so we can see the appearance of things, and make sure we're in core. Yeah, so maybe sack. Let's try that. Let's try a sack. Probably give us closer to what we want. Feel like it's looking a lot of other places. Here we go. Let's go with this guy. Let's go with that guy. It looks like it could be a waterproof sack. I'm going to right click on it and see if I can just going to copy this URL down here. Close that. I'm going to go to the prototype token, and I'm going to give it the same appearance. Okay. And then I'm going to make it an item pile. So it is enabled. We will sort by type. And then we're going to go to other settings, the shared settings here under sharing. And we're going to make sure that characters can only take their share of the currencies. There's not going to be a take all button. It's going to split it 3 ways, like I said, only split with the active characters. And We'll let them share their items out. That's cool. Update it. So this is what it now looks like. Now it turns into a dialog box. Now you see we still have this guy over here. We can just keep on clicking it. It's going to keep on opening it. So I'm just going to drag this right here to the side. And we're going to place inside of here exactly what it says. So it says a potion of healing. So let's pop open our D&D Beyond Compendium items again. Let's see, item. Whoops. D&D Beyond items. Find that potion of healing. Potion of healing, and then we're just going to drag it and drop it. Right there it is. We're going to grab the potion of invisibility. Potion of invisibility, we'll drag and drop that in there. There we go. We've got 50 gold pieces, so we're going to add currency. And here we go. Bam, 50 gold pieces. Whoop, not 450. 50 gold pieces. Pop that in there. Some travel clothing. So we'll just travel. Here's the traveler's clothes. Pop that in there. And that's it. That's all that's in there. Update it. Leave. Close it. And then when we go to that waterproof satchel, we just drag it and drop it out on the board. There it is. Right? We can adjust the size. That's pretty big for what it needs to be. So we'll just drop it in size just a smidge. And we're going to put it inside of the fountain. And we're going to make it invisible. Because it says that you can't see it from the surface, but it's in there, right? So that's it. That is R1 done. Let me just mark through that. R1 finished. So R2, there's going to be 3 bandits in there. I think they're Redbrand. So let's take a peek. R2, 3 human bandits. They're just bandits. So I decided I wasn't going to increase the difficulty of the bandits in here. I know I mentioned that as well in my previous video. I'm not going to make the bandits any more challenging. I'm going to make the bugbears, the Nothic, and Glassstaff should they encounter, should they catch him, and the Quasit. That's where I'm going to focus the difficulty on, as opposed to making it a slog. I want them to come in here feeling like they're 3rd level characters. So let's jump back over into our compendium and find the bandits. Right, let's first check and see if I've already got them in here. I probably do. Bandit, yes I do. All right, so we're gonna just pop them open. Let's close this. To the prototype token, we'll go to appearance, and we will jump out to this root directory under user data. We're gonna go to shared tokens, forgotten adventures, creatures, humanoid. We'll just search real quick for bandit. We will get the regular old bandits, select it. We're going to go to the end here, and we're going to throw the wild card on it, right? So an asterisk, and then we'll check this box. And then every time we drag a bandit out onto the board, he'll have a different looking token. Okay. Update that. And then for his image, you can go either way with this. I usually like to have art. I don't want to pause right now to make the AI art that I would typically do. So let's steal bandit art from over here. Let's see. Let's do monster portraits. Let's do bandits. Let's see if I can find one. And I will change it later to be more Forgotten Realmsy. But there we go. So now we have a bandit image. We have the prototype token set up. It's updated. We can just close that. So we're going to drag our 3 bandits in after we put them up into the humanoid folder. That way we know they're done. So 1, 2, 3. You can see they all have different tokens. The dice rolls just are rolling each individual. So they are 14, 9, and 10. This keeps your players guessing. We're not using the average, we're using the dice rolls. So this module is called Token Mold. If you've never used it, you can see it right up here at the top, Token Mold. I have it set to do the HP and not the name at the moment, and that's fine. I'm glad I noticed that because I do want to do the name because I have fun with the name. So there's our 3 bandits. So for those 3 bandits, all 3 red brands wear belt pouches, so they're holding treasure. The first one, this will be number 1. He's gonna have 16 silver and 7 gold pieces. So 16 silver and 7 gold pieces. The important thing to note about this, guys, is I am on the D&D5E official 3.0. Yes. I am also using Tidy5E sheets, the new one. I'll put the link for that down below. That is compatible. And I use that not for my player characters, but for my non-player characters, because the default D&D 5e sheet has no place where you can enter currency. You have to do it like in a loot drop, like a big one. This lets me do individuals. As an example, let's say that this bandit got away. Well, he's got the 7 gold and 16 silver. It shouldn't be in the loot drop. I know you can have manual control over it, but I don't have to think about it when I do it this way. So 7 gold, 16 silver. He's done. This will be number 2. Number 2 is going to have, let's see, first 6, 7, second holds 12 and 5. So 12 and 5. And the third holds, number 3 holds 20 copper, 11 electrium, right, and then 2 garnets worth 10 gold pieces. So let's see, garnet. So this garnet's worth 100 gold pieces. So let's just import this in. We'll click in here. We just change this, delete it out. Now it's worth 10. Easy peasy, it's done. Pop it into the character sheet and change the quantity to 2. There we go. Now the bandits are all stocked up with their loot, and that is almost done. We're going to create an item now because it says that there are 3 red cloaks in here. So this is an opportunity for the players to, you know, be clever and grab some cloaks. So let's make this a piece of equipment, and we're going to call it red cloaks. We'll see if we can get an image. Whoop, didn't mean to do that. Let's go to the core data here, and let's go to icons and equipment. So let's see, cloak. Yes, do we have a red one? Cloak collared orange, gray, blue, red. Bingo. So there we have red cloak, and we will make this worth 5 silver pieces. For the description, we'll just say a red cloak worn by the red brands. Bingo. There we have a description. And we'll close that. And there'll be 3 of those in there. So we can probably do it this way. We'll just put 1 on each one. Right? And then there we go. That's done. All right, cool. So then we move on along. R3, we have a pit trap. So I already took the time to find the pit trap I wanted to use and place it in here. Okay, so this is a tile. Okay, so we can put it wherever we want to. And it says that there is a path along the top that the players can use to circumvent the trap should they find it. So I just left a 5 foot square clear at the top, and then we're going to make this trap. So one of the first things about this that I want to do is I need to darken this. I want it to fit better with the hallway and the stonework in here. So to do that, I'm going to use some of this grunge overlay. So this is an overlay. These are overlay effects that come with the Bailey Wiki package. And the way I'm popping up the circle is I'm using Ripper 93's macro wheel. So I'm going to get to the grunge and let's just try. There we go. So that darkens it up a little bit. Let's see if we can get a different variety. Maybe one more of these. Let's see, dust. Oop, not that. So I'm going to Control Z that out. Go back to the grunge. There we go. That looks a lot better. So that's going to be our pit trap. So we're going to hide it, right? And then we're going to do some monk's work real quick. So we go to triggers, make sure that it is active. We are going to do on enter. It's going to be all tokens controlled by anyone. All this is fine. So we're going to go to the actions. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a show hide when it gets entered. Okay, so there's no need to build this in with any type of a role. I'll handle that. If one of my players says that they are searching, they will find it. It says that this trap it's found with a successful DC 15 wisdom check. It doesn't say anything about a passive. Okay, so they can discover it and they can circumvent it, but they have to be looking for it. And that's how I'm going to roll with it. So we're going to do a show hide. And before I actually do the show hide, well, we're going to use this. Yeah, we'll use this tile, so it'll be fine. So we'll do the add the action. We're going to do the show hide. We're going to use this tile. We're going to show it. We'll update that. There we go. And then we're going to add into here. Let's see what we have. If they've triggered the trap, they get to make a, let's see, yeah, all right. They just fall and they make a save to catch the edge, so they can make a DC 15 dex saving throw. So we can build that in to have it determine, you know, do they make the roll, do they not make the roll, that sort of thing, right? We can build that in if we wanted to. So let's see, let's go down to monks token bar. So let's request a roll. Okay. And so we're going to select the entity and we're going to use the triggering token. So the roll is going to, the triggering token be requested to roll a dexterity saving throw with a DC of 15 to be able to catch the edge. You attempt to grab the ledge as you begin to fall. Okay, we'll make it a public roll. We will not bypass the dialogue. We're going to leave the rest of this the way it is. We're going to continue with all the tokens, and we're going to continue if they pass. Yeah, I think that's how I'm going to do it. Let's see. Yeah, public roll. Pass. Okay. So if they pass, you know what? No, we're going to change that. We're going to make it always all tokens are always going to continue. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come back down here to Monk's token bar, and we're going to redirect based on the results. So if the token passes, we're going to go to pass, and if the token fails, we're just going to go to fail. We'll keep it simple. And then we're going to leave continue to landing blank. Okay, there we go. So let's add the landing. Oops. Landing. This one will be pass. Stop when reached in code. Yes, we'll do that. And then we're going to create landing. Landing. We're going to call it fail. And we'll stop when reached in code. Update that one. Okay. So if they pass, then that means that they're going to catch the edge. So we will put a let's try show dialogue. Let's see what happens there. Show dialogue. We'll do an alert, and we'll say ledge caught. You catch the ledge and pull yourself up. Right? So, ledge caught. Not sure if you need the idea and the title, but I just always throw it in there just in case. Here we go. So we're going to put this under the pass, right? So that should happen. And then on the fail, we're going to add a hurt heal, the triggering token, and they're going to take minus, what do we got? 2d6 damage. We'll show the dice and we'll update that. So in theory, the way that this should work is if somebody enters this tile, it should call for them to make that dex saving throw. If they pass it, then they should get the notification that they caught the ledge and everything's good. And if they don't, then it should hurt them. We can do probably a little bit more housekeeping with this and require a game pause. We could probably even move a token, but let's just see if I set this up right anyway, or if we're going to get to have a little chuckle at my expense on this one. So I'm going to bring in Donnie the Monk, and Donnie the Monk should step on it. So here it's calling, he entered it. So now it's calling for that roll, DC 15 public roll for dexterity. You attempt to grab the ledge, right? That should be, I need to figure out how to get that in here. I think that's just a box. So we're going to request it. Oh, here it is. I have to request it. So it tells him that information. He can make that roll. All right, he failed the roll. So boom, he falls. He takes the damage. That was actually enough to kill him, apparently. And let's see, it shouldn't have been. Maybe it just automatically knocked him prone. Yeah, it was enough to kill him. He hadn't healed since last game, apparently. But it knocks him prone, and there you go. So that's pretty cool, right? So let's get the prone off of him. Let's scroll out a little bit here. Let's heal him. Reset this. Go to and let's see if we can get the other result, right? So let's see if the other result works. So it's gonna hit it. We're gonna request the roll. We're gonna, this time we'll do it with advantage just to see if we can get him to pass. There it is. He passes. You catch the ledge and pull yourself up. Okay, perfect. So there he goes. So like I said, we could come back into this tile if we wanted to, and we could come into the pass deal, and we could, add maybe like a move, move the triggering token to, here, snap to the grid, and update it, and then that kind of can reflect the fact that he, you know, pulled himself back up. It can pull him back. You know, there's all number of things that you can kind of add into this sort of thing, really. So anyway, I think that is it for R3. Okay, sweet. So I guess looking at the time, I probably ought to break this up into 2 videos. So we'll do one more room right now, and then I'll I'll keep going and I'll post the other video. Like, I don't know, I said Ravenloft next week, so maybe I'll post it, you know, the following week, or maybe I'll post 2 videos this week or whatever, because I got to do this anyway. But again, the timestamps are going to be down below, so definitely make sure that you use those. Come back, you can reference it, pause, see how things are set up, all that sort of thing. So that's good to go. I'm also going to just lock this into position. Right. And if you have a different way that you would set this trap up, man, let me know. Put a comment down below, and let's let's get some ideas thrashing around. I'm always looking for better ways to do things. So, you know, that's how it goes. All right. So into R4. Tresendar Crypts. So in R4, we've got 6 skeletons. So I'm pretty sure over here we are going to have skeletons. We do. So we can just pull the skeletons in. They should already be set up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we'll spread these around the room, and as it's described, so they're said to be kind of leaning against walls. Right, so let's see, let's pull this one here, and we'll put one beside of him right here. We'll put one between the sarcophagi, maybe, or even on top of. Why not on top of, right? There we go. So 6 skeletons, easy peasy. And then we have one little bit of treasure. We have a jewel golden bracelet that's worth 140 gold pieces that lies amid the bones in the sarcophagus containing female human remains. So again, same deal. This is what, guys, it's item piles. So we'll create an item. We'll make it loot. We'll create it. We're going to go for go into core data, and we're going to look for a bracelet. Right. So we'll just do a simple bracelet here. That works. And then we will call it jeweled gold bracelets. Right. Pull this out. Yes, that'll do. And it'll be worth what, 140. There we go. All right. And we'll give it a description later on. Jewel gold bracelet. So then we will just create that pile, create the actor, and we will call it jeweled, whoops, gold bracelet. And it'll be, can't spell. It'll be a non-player character. I'm gonna create it, and then we will give it that same image if we can. Yeah, that'll work. Bracelet. And then for the prototype token, however, for this appearance, I'll use the same image. Let's see. Good to go. Turn it into an item pile. Perfect. Don't need to worry about anything else because it should be very straightforward. That's what's going to be in it. So why do I want to find a smaller image? I'll show you exactly why. Look at this. Boo. Right? I don't want that. I want I want something that's going to look that's going to be like transparent. You know what I'm saying? Like, God, I just want to go back. I feel like I went too quick, and I probably do have something in here that will work. I'm probably spelling bracelet wrong or something dumb like that. Yeah, those are brackets. So I'm going to have to do a little, maybe I'll make the art or whatever, and I'll show it to you guys the next time, but I cannot have that. I don't know why. That stuff drives me nuts. I don't know why. I have no idea why. But I'll get a new image on that thing, and then that's going to go, well, it's going to go, you know, inside of one of these coffins. And then, of course, you know, the way these work is the players just double click on them, and then they can take whatever. So, but that will be R4. All right, cool. So R4 need art. Okay, need art. All right, so we'll do the remainder, and then I'll, you know, get the video. I'll decide either if I'm going to put it up next week and make you wait for Ravenloft, or if I will do the bonus video midway through the week and then do Ravenloft next week. Probably we're going to have 2 or so Ravenloft ones, Ravenloft videos, because I had those updates I talked about in that landing page video I did from Benios. I've had some questions over in the comments about some of the Benios maps, and I got a lot to do in there, so it'll probably be where we're at: Curse of Strahd, Benios battle maps, Foundry, item piles, Monk's active tiles, tokens, all that kind of stuff. So that was definitely probably a lot for today. If you have any questions about anything that I did, any comments about anything that I did, please leave them in the description below. If you need to know what modules I'm using, if you try to get the same effect that I got or the same outcome that I was getting and something's not working, just ask. I'm very happy to help anybody. I'm a big giant nerd, so I like playing around inside of software. But yeah, definitely let me know. If you have any ideas for anything that you would like to see, hey, hit me up. I'm a pretty reasonable guy most of the time. I'll be happy to do my best to meet your needs. But anyway, I'm Greg. This is Tales from the Pythian. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, guys. It really helps me out a lot. And you know what? I will talk to you the next time, which might be next week. It might be sooner.